Hey YouTubers, welcome to Being Barton. We are the Bartons, and tonight we are going to be couple quarreling over being dreamers who deal with disappointment. This past week, both Aaron and I have dealt with rather extreme disappointment, and we handle it so differently that it can cause conflict for us. So on the one side, when you are a person who has really big dreams, and what I'm talking about is things that there's no connecting point between what you're saying to someone that you hope to do and the thing that you hope to do. There's nothing that would make someone go, yeah, you look like the kind of person that could accomplish that. Those are the kind of dreams that in particular I bring to the table. These are things where I will say, I almost don't want to give examples because I think that you'll think I'm loony, but they're big things. And I will spare you the history of the things I've actually accomplished, but Aaron is aware of things I've accomplished, so he never ever treats me like a loony bird when I mention something that's important to me.
It's important not to shut down a dreamer. You know, dreamers are the ones who bring breakthroughs to the front. You know, those are the ones who discover new lands. Those are the ones who dream up the undreamable. And they really do drive progress. And I think it's honestly important not to ever shut down a dreamer. Yeah, if they want to do something that could be harmful to themselves or harmful to their family, I don't think it's a problem to bring up those things, but you just need to bring up in such a way where they don't feel like they're not being supported.
Well, so I'm very fortunate to be married to Aaron, and he considers himself to be a half dreamer, and there's evidence of that. So we will spare you all the details of things that we've worked towards, failures and achievements, another day. But suffice to say, for this video, we are going to tackle the fact that when you're a dreamer, you have to come to terms with disappointments because they're going to happen and they're going to be crushing because you're facing adversity and then you feel like a failure. So it's a pretty big deal. And when you're married to a person who's dealing with disappointment, how you deal with that is a big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you, sir. This week, Aaron found out that he is not going to be getting a raise. We've been waiting for an annual raise. It's something that is so much an expectation, it's hard for me to express. I know not everyone gets raises. Aaron gets raises. It's just part of the deal. So he found out this week that he was not going to be getting his annual raise. How did you handle that, baby?
Well, I mean, it's pretty upsetting, but you know, what are you going to do? You know, I can't quit my job based on not a raise. These are still marital increases, so it's not like it's a gigantic life-changing raise. It's just something that you can kind of, you know, help out a little bit more month to month as far as bills. I scored very, very well at work, you know, as far as my actual review. In fact, I got some higher levels than a lot of my peers. So I expected a really nice, handsome marital raise, and getting nothing.
We both did.
Disappointing.
This disappointment is also a little bit heavier because we expected the raise a couple of months ago and we've been waiting on news of it and there was no indication it wasn't coming. There basically was the, just wait a minute. So a really big blow for us this week. And I don't handle disappointment the same way Aaron does.
And let me explain this a little bit further. We're not going to tell you why there was no raise. It had nothing to do with me personally.
Right. Details aren't important.
But yeah, details are something I don't feel at liberty to share. But just give an idea, it was expected. It wasn't personally my fault or anything around me personally.
The economy. Essentially, the economy.
No, not that either, but I appreciate you adding a reason that doesn't exist. All right, anyway. All right.
Not that anyone comments on our videos, but okay. But if people want to comment, you can just...
All right,
So it's interesting when you are a partnership of one person who is more reactive, that would be me, and then another person who is passionate but calm. I think I found such a rare gem in you, in that you are passionate. He is passionate. He's very passionate. It's just that he is very steady. He's a very steady person. So when he came home and told me about the no raise situation, I sensed more from you a feeling of being afraid of how I would respond. Would that be accurate?
Yes. So I'm disappointed that we don't have the money. I obviously believed that I deserved it, and I knew that my wife counted on it.
I manage the money.
And as many times as she reminds me that when the money comes in, A, B, or C will happen. Those are all just landmines that I have to quietly step over as I explain to her, we're not getting any of that money. So, it's hard. I'm calculated. I'm not even reserved. I'm just calculated. It's a little different. Reserved, I wouldn't say much at all, whereas I will talk.
We're both talkative people, which is it's really cool. We are such an interesting, I feel like we're an interesting coupling.
Interesting dynamic, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm calculated, I do a lot of running through all the variables before I speak. And not all the time. Sometimes I just shoot from the hip. But most of the time, especially when it's serious, I like to really know what I'm saying and really drive it home.
Yes, so basically when Aaron comes home and he has bad news for me, and I can just see like all over his face that he's terrified to give me bad news, I then feel like I need to find someone else to talk to about it, because I look at it like, oh, he has the expectation that I'm going to overreact. So I'm going to overreact over here with somebody else because I don't want him to have to deal with it. Really, that's because I love you. It's a little embarrassment and shame, but it's also the fact that I know it's not your fault. And most disappointments in life are not actually your fault. Like the things that disappoint me are not actually your fault. So so a big disappointment.
Yeah.
Aaron handles it by kind of logically. I mean, you kind of
disseminate. I compare what will be my reaction and how will that help me in my situation. In this case, nothing I can do. Nothing I can do is going to help me. No level of worrying is going to make it suddenly come to my doorstep. Is it going to possibly just add stress to my relationship and or my ability to take care of my family? Yeah. So just deal with it. Man up.
He's amazing at this.
Appreciate
so that is Aaron's issue this week and how he handled it. My disappointment this week made me immediately upset. Like, I have told very few people about this. It's so upsetting. So now this is my big reveal for anyone who cares to know. I am going through medical tests, a series of intense medical tests.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. And the test that I have been going through the past couple of days, we still have not had approval from our insurance. So we're kind of waiting on pins and needles for approval. And that's important because I was very hopeful that the results would show that there was a need for the test.
So essentially, specialists are usually more expensive than going to your general practitioner for any kind of medical issue. And she's seeing a specialist from a specialist. So this is a specialist that all the other specialists of this specialist kind would send their patients to, because it's one place in Georgia and one of three places in America. This is the kind of place you get sent to when your specialists go, I don't know.
Yeah, we are trying to isolate a problem that I did not think I could live with. I mean, my main symptom is chronic abdominal pain, like horrible pain that is ongoing, and it's just terrible. Other issues as well. But so I'm a participant in a test that should have taken 3 to 5 days, and it was over for me within 24 hours. I was supposed to ingest something, it was going to record information, and then I'm going to return to those specialists in 5 days. So the truth is, I don't really know what this means. I don't know what it means for the test to end early. My immediate reaction was hysteria. I was hysterical because I am afraid of how much the test is going to cost. I am afraid of being in chronic pain the rest of my life. And
in fact, the test might be a failure, you know?
Yeah, I'm afraid that it's going to be a failure.
Now, there's extenuating circumstances, and she knows what those are. She had a little bit of food poisoning the night before she ingested it, and so that might have helped things along a little bit faster than it was supposed to happen. But we won't know until we talk to those doctors, and because they're specialists, they're far away from here. That means 3 or 4 hour drive, and it's not cool.
Yeah, so it was very it was an explosive situation for us in the short term because I basically only had Aaron and I was reaching out to him in my hysteria. Oh my God! I was like, oh my God! This is terrible! What am I gonna do? So, sorry for yelling at everyone. I was like, oh my God, this is terrible! And Aaron essentially was just like this face right here, this handsome face. He was like, okay. So, and his first thought is, do you know what that means?
No, we don't know what that means, and that's the thing. Because
of course I don't know. I have to admit to Aaron when he says, "Do you know?" I have to say, "No, I don't know. I'm assuming it's really bad news." And then Aaron, on top of that,
yeah. So because you're assuming it's bad news, it may not actually be bad news, and there's multiple tests that are coming your way. So this is one of many. So it's not the end, and there's literally nothing you can do on a weekend like this.
Yeah, Aaron's way of diffusing me is to bring reality right to my face. And that is not my way of handling things. No. And I kind of feel like I will go to your reality of calm and reason when you are having an upset situation. I will take my hysteria over to the side. Yeah. But when I'm hysterical, I'm not as able to hold it together. I get really mad at Aaron because my first thought is, you don't know me, is what I tell him.
And
basically.
Don't care.
Oh, that's the other one. Yes, I told him he doesn't know me and he doesn't care about me.
I had a vasectomy, married her for 8 years, and had 4 children with her because I don't care.
Oh my God, it's terrible because he literally got a vasectomy because the doctor said it's life-threatening if she has a baby again. So he went through a vasectomy. So he definitely loves me.
Very much
definitely is aware he's not taking my situation seriously. But in that moment, it felt very much like you weren't taking my problem seriously.
Feel is the word, operative word right now, because feel is not logic.
I would like to say for couples out there who know exactly what I'm talking about, it's very hard to recover from moments of saying things that you don't really mean. It's hard to recover from that because you can't 2 hours later go, spouse, you were right, and have them go, yes, I knew you'd come around, because he looks at me like, ooh.
Yep, and you remember what you said during that time.
Yes, then it turns into the other issue of, if you're done being upset, I'm upset now.
Now it's my turn to be upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because I there's no gain for me panicking with her at all. In fact, it's only worse because if you feel someone's panicking, right? Someone's in a place of hysteria or a place of where they're not thinking straight. The only thing you can do in that case is either shut up, add logic to a thing, or possibly fuel the fire until something weird happens. And I figure that's what happens. What's going to happen if I go weird with her?
Oh, but here's the other thing.
Let's just tear everything apart and burn the house down. Let's do it.
Well, both of these disappointments, as you may have noticed, are ongoing. These are now things that we are still, we're like, okay, we're still in the shock phase of...
Yeah, still recovering.
Yeah, we're still in the now there's not going to be any more money, any foreseeable increase, even though our expenses have increased. So then we have to tackle that. And in the midst of that, I've kind of shelved that issue because we have to go back to meet with my doctors again. And I'm just trying to not think about going in and saying, hey, funny story, I had food poisoning the night before I took this capsule, so I typically would have a difficult time passing it, but it went right through because I was so violently ill, and I don't know if that affected the test. We're definitely not doing it again, but that's ongoing. So
expensive.
Yeah,
so expensive.
It's so expensive. Yeah. So the deal is we do these couple quarrel videos because there's so many things every single week that threaten your marriage. It's crazy. Every week. So we do try to stay up on these because it's therapeutic. Frankly, it's therapeutic. I'm so happy to be able to laugh with Aaron, and I think that with an audience, it's easier for me to see how much sense you make. You make so much sense. You make so much sense.
Thank you, baby.
I don't really know how the next week is going to go, and when moments are going to come where we just say, if I don't have $5 for this, I'm going to straight up do something stupid. But
which will happen.
Not for me. I don't.
Sure.
So we'll see you guys next week. We
Yes.
don't know what's coming. I hope that you guys survive your marriage. I hope we survive our marriage. And we'll see you back here next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
You guys. You.